Shalom, shalom. Back out here again with another lesson. Prophesy against this wicked ass queendom. First and foremost, I'm going to face the east. I'm going to give all prayers and the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. All prayers and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who brought out this truth many, many years ago and still to this day preaching us this truth. I want to say shalom to all the true believers, the men and the women that's learning, teaching, and seeking the Lord over all sincerity and due diligence. I'm going to say to you all shalom. Let's grab another lesson real quick. And we're going to get straight into it. And today's lesson pretty much is going to be about, basically just proving different pieces of the Bible, which equals Babylon the Great. Because I know I was talking to this guy about the Bible and whatnot. He asked me, well, how do I know that the Bible, is talking about Babylon the Great, which is aka America? And so I told him that you just got to be able to discern it. It's all through faith and understanding. Everybody doesn't have this knowledge, wisdom, understanding, so they won't be able to discern that Babylon the Great is America, right? And so first precept I want to grab, though, real quick, starting off is we're going to go to 2 Peter chapter 2, verses 3 through 15 through 16. Real quick, hold on, Salakia. We're going to read it out of NLT. Right here, and it says, and remember, our Lord's patience gives people time to be saved. This is our beloved brother Paul, who wrote to you with the wisdom of Yahweh gave him. Verse 16, here's the point. Speaking of these things in all of his letters, some of his comments are hard to understand, and those who are ignorant and unstable have twisted his letters to mean something quite different, just as they do with other parts of the scripture. And this will result in their destruction, and that's the point. You know what I'm saying? This knowledge, wisdom, understanding wasn't given to everybody to understand. In the book of 2nd Esdras, I believe, chapter 8, verse 62, roughly paraphrasing, it was only given to thee and a few like thee. Right? So everybody wasn't meant to possess this true knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. It was only meant for the elect, being woken up, by the Holy Spirit through Yahweh Shah. So when you have this true knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, you can discern through the scriptures that Babylon the Great is America. You can discern that the Gentiles, are the ones that can't be saved, right? You can discern who else, that so-called white man is going to slavery, that we're going to have slaves in the kingdom, all these different things, man, right? And again, verse 16, it says, speaking of all these things, some of the comments are hard to understand, and those who are ignorant and unstable have twisted his letters. So when you've got these prophets and all these false prophets and these different teachers still calling on Jesus Christ, still calling on Yahweh, Yeshua, Allah, and all these different religions, they have twisted his letters, and they are ignorant because they do not know. They don't have this true possession, this true knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, right? And that will lead to their destruction. But that's why I said, you have to have this true knowledge, wisdom, and understanding in order to discern through the scriptures that Babylon the Great is America. It's also modern-day Egypt, modern-day Sodom and Gomorrah, right? How's the modern-day Egypt? You can tell by the pyramid on the back of the dollar. It got a pyramid, then it got an eagle with a flag on it. It represents the beginning of our captivity, and America, which represents the end of our captivity, which would be Babylon the Great. Right, so we're going to break down this chapter, Nahum chapter 3 real quick. I just want to grab that out. And it says, woe to the city of blood. It's out of the NLT, NIV, believe, the Bible I've got. It says, woe to the city of blood, full of lies, full of plunder, never without victims. When you look up that word, woe in the blue letter Bible, it goes to destruction. So it says, destruction to the city of blood, full of lies, full of plunder, never without victims. And you can discern that straight to America, because the city of blood, because of the stolen land that it's on. This is not our rest, and this is not their home. It was stolen. They want to come out and say Christopher Columbus discovered it. No, our people was already here. Right? And plus, it's soaked in the blood of the Israelites, the Gadites, our people, the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. They slaughtered us, and still to this day, still slaughtering us. Right here, and it says, full of lies and full of plunder. Then Christopher Columbus plundered this place from the Native American tribes, right? Gave them blankets of smallpox. Christopher Columbus wrote in one of his one of his letters that he couldn't even put the sword down for 1 hour. He was over there slaughtering them Native Americans like it was nothing. You know, that's why it's called the city of blood. Full of lies. How's it full of lies? Job 9:24, the earth was given to the hand of the wicked, who covered the faces of the judges thereof. Who are the judges of the earth? That's Yahweh Shah. How did he whitewash everything? Made the true man of the Lord look white and pale, blue eyes, blonde hair. But the Bible clearly states what our people truly look like. It's all, like I said, through the scriptures, you have this true knowledge and understanding. You can discern what our people actually look like back in the day, right? You know, all his lies and philosophies, his deception, you know, pushing that whiter skin is more superior than dark skin. When the Lord was a dark-skinned man with woolly hair, you know, and so were a lot of the prophets and the kings, man. They were brown-skinned people, not knowing that, you know, whiter skin it would be leprosy in the kingdom. You know, that's why Jacob came out normal. That's why when the Bible talked about Jacob and Esau, that Jacob came out red and hairy, he was different. Right? He didn't come out looking like the average Israelite. Right? That's why they put an emphasis on that part of the Bible in the book of Genesis. Right? So again, it's full of lies. Like I said, stolen land, all his lies and philosophies, his history. They try to give us our true history. Harriet Tubman, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. Who else? All those guys, you know, all those people that we learned about in school, but our history goes deeper than that. All throughout the scriptures, it tells you that we are the true power, we are the true Israelites, we are the true Jews of the Bible, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, right? So they stole our land, they stole our inheritance, you know, whitewashed the names of the Lord, the image of the Lord, all of that, man. So, hey, man, so again, destruction to the city of blood, full of plunder, never without victims. It says the crack of their whips and the clatter of their wheels, galloping horses and jockeying chariots. That shows the military might, the power. Because what was Esau's blessing? Esau's blessing was the sword, and that's his military might. That's how he's able to take over all these different countries. He's over to go invade another man's country, steal their resources, kidnap the leaders, capture them, imprison them, rape their women, steal the gold, steal the minerals, the uranium, all these different things. Charge the cavalry, flashing swords and glittering spears. Many casualties, piles of dead bodies without number. People stumbling over corpses. See that? So when it goes to the glittering spears and many casualties, those glittering spears represents the nuclear missiles. But see, the Lord allowed this man to create these nuclear missiles just so it could fall back on him. Just like he allowed Esau to create the internet. But that's falling back on him too, because he created it, but we're using it to prophesy against his kingdom, to prophesy against him, letting the world know who the wicked truly is. Letting the world know that this place is finna fall soon. Letting the world know that Yahweh Shah is coming back. We're just like in the days of Noah. Nobody wanted to believe Noah when he was building that ark, that the Lord was on his way back. What did it say? Drinking and making merry? Similar to what's going on today. What the Bible say? Nothing is new under the sun. So still similar to today, it's the same thing. Nobody wants to believe that we are the true people of the Bible. Nobody wants to believe that the Lord is on his way back. Everybody think that America is going to be here forever. Everybody think that America it can't fall because it has the greatest military. But but right now as we speak, Iran is over there kicking his ass right now. He making up all these different lies saying they destroyed Iran's nuclear infrastructure or they did this to Iran, but Iran sending missiles at their ass almost every damn day. Right? So let's grab a precept real quick before we get too far. First precept, we're going to go to Micah, right here. Micah chapter 2, verse 10, it says, "Rise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it's polluted, and it shall destroy you. Come back." So when it says come back, it means come back into your faith. Get out of the lies and philosophies of Esau, even the so-called white man of this world, of America. It said depart, come out of the mindset, because this is not your rest. Depart means coming out of the mindset of this place, right? Spiritually. Because this place is full of deception, full of lies. It confuses you. That's why the Babylon was called land of confusion. America's the same thing, a land of confusion. You got all this, the man-on-man marriage, the woman-on-woman marriage. You got the so-called white man in power, when he's actually a true servant, a caveman who is blessed with the powers, who's able to rule this earth. You got us in mental slavery still to a certain degree, and hardcore bondage every day. So everything is upside down, man. It's confusion. All these different religions. You know what I'm saying? They say America is what? Come live the American dream. But once you step over here, it's a fucking nightmare. There's nothing great about this place, man. It's full of lies and deception. That's why I say, woe to the bloody city. That's Babylon, aka America. Modern day Egypt. Right? Like I said, again, verse 2 and 3, the crack of the whips, the clatter of the wheels, the galloping horses, the jolting chariots, charging cavalry, flashing swords, and glittering spears. That's their military might. And the glittery spears, like I said, would be those nuclear missiles. But like I said, the Lord is going to use those nuclear missiles to come up against him. Because while Esau and all of us making these alliances with all these different nations, them nations are going to turn against him. And they're going to shoot their missiles at this place. And that's how America's going to get destroyed. Right? It's not going to be with a flood. It's going to be with fire this time. That's why America's going to be the lake of fire. Because all these different countries are going to shoot their missiles at this place. 200 million plus missiles going to be shot at America. Right? So let's read the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 4 through 20. It says, out of NLT, it says, look at the proud. Who is that proud? That's the Babylonians, aka America. They trust in themselves and live, and their lives are crooked. But the righteous will live by their faithfulness to Yahweh, Yahushua, and that's us. We're going to live by our faithfulness. We're not trusting in nothing else but the Lord. That's what we're putting our faith in. We're not putting our faith in Esau. We're not putting our faith in America. We're not putting our faith in white Jesus. We're not putting our faith in these pastors and these false prophets. We're putting our faith in Yahweh, Yahushua. Wealth is treacherous, and the arrogant are never at rest. Why? Because they're always in somebody else's country. Plundering the nations, stealing their resources, kidnapping the women, sex trafficking the children, all these different things, man. Anything you could think of, Esau got his hand in it. He's public enemy number one. Every time something go wrong, it's always America got their hand in the pot somewhere, somehow. Nothing goes on without it going through America first, right? They open their mouths as wide as the grave, and like death, they are never satisfied. That's America, the greediest country in the world. America has enough resources to supply America, but no, America got to go to Venezuela, steal their oil because they're going through bankruptcy. They got to go over to try to bully Iran because they don't want Iran to have those nuclear missiles, right? America always in somebody else's business, and that's why America getting its ass kicked, and that's why all these different countries is going to team up against America and put this place down, right? And their greed, they have gathered up many nations and swallowed many people. See that? Going, like I said, stealing their resources. You know, deceiving the nations, kidnapping the Israelites, bringing us here to our homeland that we don't know this place. This is not. That's why the scriptures say this is not our rest. This is not our final resting ground. We're here for a punishment. We're not here to be celebrated. That's why we go through what we go through every day, right? It says, but soon the captives, verse 6, but soon their captives will taunt them. They will mock them, saying, what sorrow awaits you, thieves? It says, now you will get what you deserve. You become rich by extortion. But how much longer can this go on? See that? That's how he became rich. Rape, rob, and murder. Verse 7, suddenly your debtors will take action. They will turn on you and take all you have while you stand trembling and helpless. Because you have plundered many nations, now all the survivors will plunder you. See, didn't I just read that in the in Nahum chapter 3, verse 1? Woe to the city of blood, full of lies, full of plunder, never without victims. See that? That's how you know it's talking about America, man, aka Babylon, aka modern day Egypt. Because you have plundered many nations, now all the survivors will plunder you. You committed murder throughout the countryside and filled the towns with violence. What sorrow awaits you who build big houses with money gained dishonestly? And that's how America get all his money, his riches. Again, rape, rob, and murder. He got to get it from somebody else, right? Too greedy, man. You believe your wealth will buy security, putting your family's nest beyond the reach of danger. You got the underground bunkers. You know, the rich people got the underground bunkers. You got those spaceships, luxury places up in space, thinking they can get away from the nuclear destruction. Well, all that's gonna get destroyed, man. The underground bunkers, and also those things of heaven, because they're gonna be bold enough to try to fight the Lord when He returns. Right? Verse 10, it says, but by the murders you committed, you have shamed your name and forfeited your lives. The very stones in the walls are cried against you, and the beams of the ceilings echo in complaint. What sorrow awaits you who builds cities with money gained through murder and corruption? See that? That's America. That's how this place was built. Off our backs, man. What again? What did it say again? Through murder and corruption. That's how he got us. Killed off the Gadites, the Native Americans. Brought us over here to build this place up. Treating us like shit every goddamn day. Still killing us all every goddamn day. Still hanging us by trees. All this different shit, man. It said, has not the Adonai Yahweh, the heaven's armies, promised you that the wealth of the nations will turn to ashes? How's it going to turn to ashes? In a lake of fire. Everything is going to be melted. The infrastructure, the laws, everything that represents Esau is going to be destroyed completely off the face of this earth. They work so hard, but all in vain, all for nothing. For as the waters fill the sea, the earth will be filled with an awareness of the glory of Yahweh Shai. What sorrow awaits you who make your neighbors drunk? You force a cup on them, so you gloat over their shameful nakedness. See that? How did he make them drunk? With their lies and deception. Social media, Esau's history, by force. All these, it's a lot of different ways, man. But mostly through deception, through the social media. Everything that this man puts out is a goddamn lie. But soon verse 16. But soon it will be your turn to be disgraced. Come and drink and be exposed. See that? That's what the Lord doing now, exposing this place, showing this place ain't as strong as it is, as strong as it claims to be. That's why Iran is over there kicking their ass. They're having a hard time with Iran. Just wait till China join in, Russia, North Korea. Wait till those other countries join in and team up against this place, and all his allies team up against it. It's gonna be overwhelmed. That's why Trump talk about building a golden dome. But that golden dome is not gonna help you, and we're gonna get to that soon because Thebes, if I'm saying it right, Thebes was a great kingdom, and they thought it was protected because it had the water moats, high walls, but the Lord still brought that place down, and we're gonna get to that soon. It says, drink at the cup of the Adonai Yahweh's judgment, all your glory will be turned into shame. See, Epstein Island, right? The Lord is embarrassing this place. Everybody's seeing that Trump has turned out to be a fucking liar, right? You cut down forests of Lebanon, now you will be cut down. You destroyed the wild animals, so now the terror will be yours. You see that? What is it? Deforestation, cutting down all these trees to build up their factories. Animal extinction, hunting all these damn animals. That's what was Esau in the Bible? A cunning hunter, a deceitful hunter. Out here in Michigan, they actually have a whole week off of school just to go hunting. Called hunting season. That's the kind of shit that they do, and they post it around because they got the heads of the animals all in their goddamn house, man. Right? They take animals from a different country, bring them over here, put them in zoos, torturing them and shit. You got whales, big ass killer whales, just floating around in a big ass circle all goddamn day. Confused as hell. That shit wicked, man. Right? You committed murder throughout the countryside filled with the towns of violence. Verse 18. It says, what good is an idol carved by man or a cast image that deceives you? How foolish to trust in your own creation. They created white Jesus. The Lord said, how foolish is you to trust in your own creation? You created white Jesus. You created Allah. You created Buddhism. How foolish is it for you to trust in your own creation? It's not going to save you. Your wealth is not going to save you in the day of the Lord's return. Right? A God that can't even talk. Verse 19, it said, what sorrow awaits you who say to the wooden idols, wake up and save us. Two speechless stone images, you say, rise up and teach us. Can an idol tell us what to do? That may be overlaid with gold or silver, but they're lifeless inside. You see that? And that's what it's Jesus Christ. He's lifeless inside. Yahweh, Yeshua, Jehovah, all these different false gods that this man has presented in front of you to confuse you, to set you up, to destroy you. More lies of deception. It's not going to save you in the time of trouble, man. The Lord said again, it's all foolishness. Right? It says they have, verse 20. It says, but the Adonai Yahweh is in his holy temple. Let all the earth be silent before him. Right? Soon the Lord is going to come back and show his wrath, man. And the whole world is going to be shocked. Hearts going to drop in their stomach when they see a so-called black man coming out the sky. Not no pale-faced, blind, blue-eyed white Jesus. It ain't going to be none of that, man. Now again, verse 4, and it says, already did verse 3. Verse 4, all because of the wanton lust of the harlot, alluring the mistress of sorceries, who enslaved nations by her prostitution, and the people by her witchcraft. Now, if you look at that word witchcraft in the Blue Letter Bible in the New Testament, it goes in the pharmakia. You know, so he deceiving us with the things in the medicines. The medicine is not sit there to cure you; it's just sent there to cover up whatever issues you have and bring more issues, right? So it says, oh, the medicine will help you with this, but may cause anxiety, may cause depression, may cause nausea, if I'm saying it right. You may become nauseous, all these different things. All that shit is witchcraft, man. It's helping one thing, but bringing a whole bunch of different other fucking problems. You go to the doctor, you know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, they give you, you tell them you got this, they find out you got this, then they want to give you 10 different fucking prescriptions. That's bullshit, man. They took away the herbs of the earth out of the Bibles and out of the books and put their pharmaceuticals inside the scriptures. Inside the books, man. Now people are lost. You see? So again, verse 4, how did he deceive the nations? All because of the wanton lust of the harlot, along the mysteries and sorceries, who enslaved the nations by her prostitution and people by her own witchcraft. Again, by deception in her social media. Everything Esau puts out is a goddamn lie. Right here now we read the book of Isaiah chapter 47, 9 through 15. Verse 9, it says, well, both these things will come upon you in a moment. Widowhood and the loss of your children. Yes, the calamities will come upon you despite all your witchcraft and magic. Despite all his witchcraft, all his sorcery, all this bullshit that this man, all his lies and deception that this man puts out, destruction is still coming upon this man. You felt secure in your wickedness. No one sees me, you said, but your wisdom and knowledge have led you astray. You said, I am the only one and there is no other. See, because Esau, he thinks, and America thinks, because they haven't received any consequences yet for all the wickedness and the bullshit that they've done, they think the Lord is not watching. They think the Lord is not real. They think he's not coming back. But as the scriptures say, well, both of these things will come upon you in a moment. So in a moment, the Lord said he's going to return. That's why the Lord said he's coming like a thief in the night. You don't know when somebody's going to break in your damn house, right? It's similar to when the Lord is going to return. We don't know when the Lord is going to return, but through the scriptures, having the true knowledge and understanding, we can discern through the scriptures when he's going to return. He gives us signs, right? Same similar to Esau. Esau, he's still doing his wickedness, not paying attention to shit, right? And that's why the Lord is going to come upon him in a moment, all of a sudden. Verse 10, again, it says, you felt secure in your wickedness. No one sees me, you said, but your wisdom and knowledge have led you astray. It said, I am the only one and there is no other. Verse 11, so disaster will overtake you and you won't be able to charm it away. There's nothing you can do. Your witchcraft, your wealth, all your lies and deception will not be able to get you out of this, man. Calamity will fall upon you and you won't be able to buy your way out. Again, your riches and wealth won't save you. A catastrophe will strike you suddenly, one for which you are not prepared. That's those nuclear missiles. Out of nowhere, the Lord's going to bring them nuclear missiles down and hit this place. Same thing with them cherries. Them cherries going to be zapping people up, man. Verse 12, now use your magical charms. Use your spells you have worked at for years. Your AI technology, your military might, all these different things. Maybe they would do you some good. Maybe they can make maybe they can make someone afraid of you. See the Lord mocking them now. The Lord talking this shit. Verse 13, all the advice you receive has made you tired. Where are your astrologers and your stargazers who make predictions each month? Let them stand up and save you from what the future holds. See that? The Lord mocking them. Verse 14, but they are like straw burning fire and cannot save themselves from the flame. You would get no help from them at all. You would get no help from them at all. Their hurt is no place for the sick. What does it say? Where am I at all? Their heart is no place to them to sit warm. Verse 15, all your friends with whom you've done business with since childhood will go their own ways, turning a deaf ear to your cries. So all the alliances America has built, all the friendships, all the alliances this man has built, they're going to turn a deaf ear to America. Because they're going to turn against him and help him destroy this place. Right? Now let's go to verse 5. We're going to read 4 again to verse 5. Verse 4, all because of the wanton lust of the harlot, alluring the mistress of sorceries, who enslaved the nations by her prostitution, and the peoples by her witchcraft. Verse 5, I am against you, declares the Adonai Yahweh Almighty. I will lift up your skirts over your face, and I will show you the nations your nakedness, and the kingdoms your shame. You see that? So the Lord is going to strip this place bare. Right? That's why the scriptures say, come sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. There's no thorn in the Lord is stripping him away from his power, embarrassing this man. Right? That's the precept of verse 5, Isaiah 47, 1 through 3. It says, come sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of, come down, virgin daughter of Babylon, and sit in the dust. For your days of sitting on the throne has ended, O daughter of Babylonia. Never again will you be a lovely princess, tender and delicate. Take heavy millstone and grind your flour, remove your veil, and strip off your robe. Expose yourself to public view. You will be naked and burdened with shame. I will take vengeance against you without pity. So the Lord is going to embarrass this place. He's going to openly shame this place. Right? He's going to make he's saving the best for last. Right? So let's continue. Verse 5 and 6. Verse 5, I am against you, declares the Adonai Yahweh Almighty. I will lift up your skirts over your face. What's up, bro? I will show the nations your nakedness. It will make kingdoms your shame. Verse 6, I will pelt you with filth, and I will treat you with contempt and make you a spectacle. Right here, Jeremiah, a precept of verse 6. Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 37. It says that Babylon will become a heap of ruins, haunted by jackals. She will be an object of horror and contempt in a place where no one lives. You see that? So this place is going to get destroyed, man. All the wickedness, all the plunder, all the lies, all the deception, all these different things that this man has presented to us, presented to the whole world, the Lord is going to make a complete devastation of this place and turn it to a complete wasteland. Right? Now let's read 6 and 7. Verse 6, I will pelt you with filth, and I will treat you with contempt and make you a skeptical. Verse 7, all who see you will flee from you and say, Nevaeh is in ruins. Who will mourn for her? Where can I find anyone to comfort you? And see, that's the thing. America's not going to have any comfort in a time of trouble. When the Lord returns to send nuclear missiles at this place, no one is going to be saved. Not his wealth, not his lies and deception. None of these things, man. So a precept for verse 7. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 13 through 17, NLT. For you said to yourself, I will ascend into heaven and set my throne above the stars. I will preside on the mountain of the gods far away in the north. I will climb to the highest heavens and be like the Most High. See, that's America's problem. They think they're gods. They think they're going to get away with everything that they've been doing, man, because they haven't suffered any consequences for all the wickedness and sin and the lies, the plunder, the rape, robbery, murder that this place has committed. He hasn't received any consequences yet. So that's why the Lord is going to bring this man down low. Instead, what did it say? Verse 15, instead you will be brought down to a place of the dead, down to his lowest depths. Verse 16, everyone there will stare at you and ask, can this be the one who shook the earth and made the kingdoms in the world tremble? So everybody's going to be wondering, like, damn, I thought America had the greatest military in the world. I thought this was the greatest country. But they're going to be amazed at the destruction of this place, right? Nobody think America could fall. Everybody think America is the last place that's going to live forever. But that's stupid, because Egypt fell, the great Roman Empire failed, Babylonian Empire failed. All these different kingdoms fell once upon a time before America. The same thing is going to happen to this place. It's nothing different. That's why the scriptures say there's nothing new under the sun. Let's 16. Verse 17. It says, this the one who destroyed the world and made it to a wasteland? And this the king who demolished the greatest cities and had no mercy on his prisoners? See? Again, going into other people's countries, stealing their resources. Right? Again, rape, robbery, murder, kidnapping the leaders, imprisoning them. All these different things, man. People are going to be amazed and astonished at how crazy and demolished this place is going to be destroyed, man. Right? Let's read again 7 and 8. Again, it says, verse 7, all who see you will flee from you and say, Nevaeh is in ruins. Who will mourn for her? Where can I find anyone to comfort her? Won't receive no comfort. Verse 8, are you better than Thebes, situated in the Nile, with water around her? The river has her defense. See that? And see, that's what I was saying earlier. Thebes was another great kingdom back in the day, and it had the moats around the kingdom. Like, it had water. You know how people back in the day, you see it on TVs. They have the kingdoms, and they have the moats around the kingdom with alligators in it and all kind of shit like that, so nobody could cross over. That place thought it couldn't be destroyed. Right? So the waterfalls and the moats could not protect Thebes. right? Huge armies of helpers, even alliances that they made couldn't save that place. So what makes you think the alliances and all these different things could save America? Just because America made the alliances with Ukraine and all these other different countries, they're going to turn against America, right? So nothing can save the place, not the military might, not the Golden Dome, not the Iron Dome, not Israel. None of these places that America has alliance with, none of the military might, none of the AI technology, the witchcraft, the sorcery, none of this bullshit that Esau presents out or puts out will save him in a time of trouble, right? Like I said, Thebes was a wealthy kingdom as well, but the Lord destroyed that place. We're gonna go to the book of I think Amos chapter 6, verse 2 through 3. NLT just proving that no place is safe. The Lord can destroy any place He wants. Everybody has his day. Amos chapter 6, verse 2 and 3. It says, "But go over to Canaan and see what happened there. Then go to the great city of Hamath and down to the Philistine city of God. You are no better than they are." See, America ain't no better than none of these different other countries. A look at how they were destroyed. You push away every thought of coming disaster, but your actions only bring a day of disaster closer. See, by their actions, man, everything that Esau is doing, his sin has reached the heavens. There's nothing this man can do that can save him. Not, like I said, not his alliances, not his military might, not his AI technology, none of his laws and philosophies, none of his fake ass power that he got. None of this shit will be able to save him in a time of trouble, right? So let's continue on verse 8, 9, and 10. It says, "Are you better than Thebes, situated in the Nile, with water around her? The river was her defense. The waters was her wall." Verse 9, "Cush and Egypt were her boundless strength." See, they had allies. And Cush and Egypt, Put and Libya were among her allies. Verse 10, "And yet she was taken captives and went into exile. Her infants were dashed into pieces, and at the head of every street, lots were cast for her nobles, and all her great men were put in chains." Similar to what's going on. America's going to get destroyed. The nuclear missiles are going to hit this place. All the alliances are going to turn against them. The Golden Dome that Trump trying to build, not going to save him. Israel not going to save him. The wealth is not going to save him. His allies is not going to save him. And just like how those prisoners went in chains, we gonna have Esau even the so-called white man put in chains as well, right? Let's continue. Verse 10. We got a precept for verse 10. Oh, I just have some notes. See again. So Thebes was a mighty well defended Egyptian city that was brutally conquered and exiled despite the natural water barriers. So despite it having all his water barriers and all his defenses and all his allies, nothing could save that shit, man. So that's the Lord just showing that when it's time of trouble, when his judgment is coming upon you, there's nothing that you can do to stop it. Because he's the one who allowed Esau to have all these different things, man, to have this power. He's nothing but a caveman who was blessed with the powers, and now he's abusing it. The Lord only set him up with powers to show him how not to run the earth. But this man is completely running this place down. The water's poison, the food poison, those jabs that this man has is poison. All these different things, man. What the hell is going on today? Right? So this man is literally, and his laws are set up just to justify his wickedness. It's really for us, the Israelites, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, right? So where is that? So we're going to read verse 10 again through 11. Verse 10. "Yes, she was taken captive and went into exile. Her infants were dashed into pieces, and at the head of every street, lots were cast for her nobles, and all her great men were put in chains," similar to what's going to go on soon. Verse 11. "You too will become drunk, and you will go into hiding and seek refuge from the enemy." And that's America. That's why they say they got the underground bunkers, right? They have those space lounges up in space, thinking they're going to get away from the judgment of the Lord. Got a precept for verse 11, Isaiah chapter 2, verse 9 through 12, out of NLT. Verse 9, it says, "So now they will be humble, and all will be brought low. Do not forgive them. Crawl into the caves of the rocks, hide in the dust of the terror of the Adonai Yahweh, and the glory of the majesty." See that? So when they go hide in the rocks, that's them hiding in. They go into their natural habitat, because we know they come from the caves, right? So when they go into some underground bunkers, it's already written in the scriptures. Hey, like I said, that's why you gotta have this true knowledge and understanding to discern which is what. That's how we discern that Babylon the Great is America. That's how we discern that America's modern day Egypt, right? That the so-called white man is the enemy, right? So now let's read 11 again, 11 through 13. Verse 11, it says, you too will become drunk, and you will go into hiding and seek refuge from the enemy. Verse 12, all your fortresses are like fig trees, and their first ripe fruit when they are shaken, and the figs fall into the mouth of the eater. Verse 13, look at your troops, they are like women. So their troops, all this military might, they're going to turn into women, man. It's going to be weaklings. It's not going to save them. There's nothing they can do. God dang. The gates of your land are wide open to all your enemies. Fire has consumed the bars. See, so it's the Lord is basically showing it's going to be an easy takeover. That's why the Lord just said that America is going to be destroyed within 1 hour. In a moment, this place is going to be wiped off the face of the earth. Precept for verse 13, Revelation chapter 18, verse 10 out of KJV. Standing far off for fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, the great city Babylon, the mighty city, for 1 hour thy judgment has come. So in 1 hour, the Lord is going to wipe this place off the map, man. America's going to be nothing but a wasteland, a pile of dust, a desert. Again, another precept, Revelation 18, verse 18 to 19. And cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like this great city? If they're going to be amazed, damn, America, this great city is getting destroyed. I can't believe it. They're going to be in awe of this place, all the nuclear missiles hitting this place, man. That's why it's going to be up in smoke. Right? Verse 19. And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, the great city, wherein were made rich all that have ships in the sea, and reason of her costlessness, for in 1 hour she is made desolate. See that? Proving it. The Bible speaks no lies. So in 1 hour, all of Esau's infrastructure, all his laws, statutes, all his laws and legislations that he presents, everything that represents Esau will be wiped off the face of the map. Then we're going to be pulling Esau out of the caves and taking them to hardcore slavery. And after 1,000 years, they're going to be wiped off the face of the earth as well with America. And never be bought back up again. All right? What is it? Now we going through 14 through 18 real quick. Verse 14, it says, draw water from the siege, strengthen your defenses, work the clay, tread the mortar. Repair the brickwork. Verse 15, the fire will devour you, the sword will cut you down, and like grasshoppers consume you. So even though you can rebuild, the Lord is still going to tear this place down. This is the Renaissance period, just like when the Moors was ruling and over there in Europe for 1,000 years, and then Esau came into power. Now that's how they got in power right now. They rebuilt it, built America up, make this place all pretty and beautiful. But it doesn't matter. The Lord is going to bring this place back down again. And this time when he bring it down, they won't be able to rise up again. In 1 hour, this place is going to be wiped off the face of the earth. Verse 15 again, it says, there the fire from the nuclear missiles will devour you. The sword will cut you down. And like grasshoppers consume you, multiply the grasshoppers, multiply the locusts. Verse 16, you have increased the number of your merchants till they are more like stars of the sky. But like locusts, they strip the land and then fly away. Verse 17, your guards are like locusts. Your officials like swarms of locusts. They settle on the walls of cold day. But when the sun appears, they fly away and no one knows where. So nothing is going to save them. Now, again, I repeat it again, the military might, the defense system, the nuclear defense system that Trump's trying to build, the AI technology, nothing that this man has will save this man in the day of judgment of the Lord, man, when it's coming out of Yahweh, Yahushua. Nothing is going to save this man, right? Verse 18, O king of Assyria, your shepherds slumber, your nobles lie down to rest, your people are scattered on the mountains with no one to gather them. Verse 19, no one can heal your wound, your injury is fatal. Everyone who hears the news about you claps his hands at your fall. People are going to be rejoicing at the fall of this place. That's why the book of Proverbs, it says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. When the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. This whole place is mourning, man. The animals from animal extinction is mourning. The trees being cut down so they can build up their AI chip centers or their warehouses centers. Right? The people are mourning. The nations are mourning because this man is in power. This is bullshit, man. And that's why the Lord had to bring this place down low and knock this man out of power, because nothing would be able to thrive here until he's gone. Right? So a precept for the last precept of the day for verse 19, Jeremiah 51:7-9. Babylon has been a golden cup and out of wine Yahweh's hand, a cup that made the whole earth drunk. Again, how do you make the whole earth drunk? By the lies and philosophies, the deception that this man has put out, the social media, right? All the white man's history, all the lies, the shit that they tell you in school. And our history comes from Harriet Tubman. Our history comes from Malcolm X. Our history comes from Martin Luther King. Our history runs way deeper than that. Again, like I said, we are the true Jews of the Bible. So our history runs way deeper than some bullshit-ass Harriet Tubman, some bullshit-ass Malcolm X, some bullshit-ass Martin Luther King, or Frederick Douglass, whoever the fuck these guys are. They don't matter. They just played a part in the movie, right? Our true history is that we are the true Jews of the Bible. But see, like I said, our history is stolen. This is the city of blood, city of lies, city of plunder, all these different things, man. America was built off the backs of the Native Americans and the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, man, right? That's why this place had to be brought down low. And that's why everything that this man has done to us, it had to be brought back on him. That's why the judgment is for the so-called white man in all these different nations in America. Same similar was to the way it was in Babylon and King Nebuchadnezzar. Turned that nigga to a beast, a cow or some type of shit, right? Let's continue to read again on the last precept, Jeremiah 51:7-9. Babylon has been a golden cup and an out of wine Yahweh's hands. A cup that made the whole earth drunk, and said, like I said, by the lies and deception. The nations drank Babylon's wine and drove them all mad. Now everybody believing everything that this place has put out, all the history, all the lies this man has made. They're confused, don't know what to believe in. So many different religions, so many different lies. Poison food, poison water. The air quality is terrible. You know, America got its hand with all these different alliances that's coming up against you, but America best believe they shaking hands with them. Come on, man. It's already written. It says, verse 8, but suddenly Babylon too has fallen. See, it's going to fall soon, man. Weep for her. Give her medicine. Perhaps she cannot be healed. So the Lord's going to destroy this place so bad it can never be able to be built back up. It would never be able to be healed again, man. We would have helped her if we could, but nothing can save her. Now, let her go. Abandon her. Return to your own land, for her punishment reaches the heavens. That's why I said the sins of this place have reached the heavens of the Lord, man. It is so great, it cannot be measured. And that's how it is, man. That's how you can discern that Babylon the Great goes into America. That's how you can discern that America also, too, is modern-day Egypt, right? So that was pretty much it. Just running through that, proving that having a couple precepts that America is Babylon. That what else? America also is too modern-day Egypt, modern-day Sodom and Gomorrah. All these different things, man. Having this true knowledge and understanding, you'll be able to discern through the scriptures what this place is. Having this true knowledge and understanding, you can discern the true names of the Lord, who we really are in the Bible, what our true names come from, where we come from, right? It's not the white man's history that they put out in these history books and what he tells you your history is. That's not really what it is. Again, more lies and deception. Again, that's why it says in Nahum chapter 3, verse 1, woe to the city of blood, full of lies, full of plunder, never without victims. See, that's America, man. Built on all the bloodshed that this man has been, built on the blacks, built on the backs of the Native Americans, built on the backs of the so-called Negroes, all these different things, man. Right? So hopefully this lesson was edifying. Just wanted to prove that, bring that out real quick. First, we're going to face the east. I'm going to give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Again, all praise and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who brought out this truth many, many years ago, still to the day preaching this truth. I would say shalom to all true believers. Again, I hope this lesson was edifying. Shalom.